So today, the topic that I really chose is, what do we really need? So there are three things: need, want, and desire. What do you need? Those are all functional, basically basic needs. And what do we want? That is for physical benefit, for the comfort. And what you desire? This is for your emotional satisfaction. Usually it is aggravated. So need, as far as the need is concerned, the Mother Earth provides whatever that we need for everyone. And want, comfort and benefit, it involves the exploitation of the environment. And desire, corruption of mind and destruction of the earth. So Buddha said, desires are the cause of all sins. And needs, so this is the basic and functional. So what do we need to live? Air, water, food, shelter, cloth, and so on. Roti, kapda, aur makan. These are arranged by Bhagavan to everyone. Every jiva who came to this world, they all get there. All these are actually provided by the Lord. These are to live so that to work on the real goal of human life. What is the real goal of human life? It is sadhana, do the sadhana and go back to God. But not all the jivas are satisfied with just this. They crave for more to enjoy. They go far more than what they need to live. Because there are three questions usually we have to really ask ourselves before actually buying anything. What are those? Do I absolutely need it? Is it worth? Can I afford it? If anyone is, the answer is no, then do not buy it. But many fail in the first question itself. So how will you know? You look at any American garage. Even Indians are also. You look at the garage. What you really have got. That is why most of the American garage is like this. They consume more than what they absolutely need. That is, otherwise the China problem even would not have even come, because we really wanted to be a consumer level. So too much consuming. Now what are the wants? What do you want? Right? Wants are for comforts. I can say I want pizza. I can say I want a dog. Right? So these are all the wants. The wants are next higher to needs. These are things that if you don't have, you are not going to die or anything. But I say that, I want a dog, I want pizza, and I want air condition. I want this and that. The psychology is that when we give more comforts to our body, it will demand more. This is the thing. I want Game Boy, I want iPad, I want toy, and so many things that we really ask. Then the third one is a desire. Desire is the long-term wishes, emotional. We live on dreams. Also the fact is that there is no end to our desires. As there is no end to the sky, there is no end to our desires. Even at the deathbed, we will be still desiring something. So we cannot stop. And we have mountains of desires throughout our life. We desire to be the richest. We desire to be the president of USA. We desire to be the top of the world. We desire to enjoy like Lord Indra. Or we desire to be like Lord Brahma. We want everything. Mine, and mine. One's dream could be, I should become a famous lawyer. And someone may even want to be a police officer. And another one's dream could be, I want to be a doctor, or a physician, or a surgeon, or assistant to a physician, whatever they really wish. I want to be very rich. So many we can see that. In fact, becoming rich is a natural tendency for Vaishyas. If anyone has that tendency, they are actually Vaishyas. Because if we look at the scriptures, it is clearly said that what are the qualities of a Brahmana, what are the qualities of Kshatriya, what are the qualities of Vaishya and also Sutra. Okay, so we have been really going through all the things in the Jeva Dharma, and then tomorrow also we will be actually covering little bit here again. So now, there was actually research done about the mindset of the children, various children. There were many questions actually. They really put so many questions. And this is how the questions went through. What do you want to become? Answer was, I want to be a doctor. Why do you want to be a doctor? Because I can do surgery, operation. Oh, you want to be a surgeon. Why do you want to be a surgeon? Because I can operate on the people. What kind of people do you want to operate? The rich people. So, and also you won't believe, sometimes our children, after not having much time, in India, right? Because they were probably born here or something, and they happen to go to India. They get fascinated when they really see an auto driver, and then after all, because auto driver can really go wherever he wants, wherever he wants to turn, he can do that, and it's really amazing. So these children, they really get really fascinated. And if you ask, the child saying, what do you want to become? I want to be auto driver. So like this, they will have so much of desires, right? That is in their mind. They really build on. So this is the human thing. But then when we really get aged, we are getting, age. Already, we have been really getting so many flyers asking for us to really join in some retirement home or something. I was just wondering what is happening. So somebody is always watching all these things. So when we age, we want to be taken care of. So we look for so many cares. And we have health care, we have Medicare, old age care, car care, hair care, dog care, cat care, baby care, eye care, skin care, nail care, food care, beauty care, diabetic care, and full body care. So this is what it is. We care only about all these things in our life. But who cares about soul care? I didn't see the listings that is there, because nobody is talking about something called soul care. If suppose somebody really starts a business saying, yes, we do soul care here, within no time he will be bankrupt. So we spend all our time, all our life, only in those cares to take care of our body and mind. And we really like to do the maximum enjoyment as long as we really live in this world. By the way, what is soul care? It is all about keeping our soul happy, not our mind happy. Happiness to the soul is different. The soul does not get happiness by dealing with all the material happiness. That is only for the mind. That it's all trickling for our mind. So now how many really care about these things about, yes, I have to make my soul happy? How many are there really thinking about it? Hardly anyone. That's why the scripture says,
कर्माचारी मत्ये बहुता कर्मनिष्ठा कोटि कर्म निष्ठ मत्ये एक ज्ञानी श्रेष्ठा कोटि ज्ञानी मत्ये हय एक जन मुक्ता मुक्त महत्ये दुर्लभ एक कृष्ण बता.
Among the followers of Vedic Dharma, most of them follow the process of karma and karma yoga. Out of millions of such people, there may be one who is actually wise, jnani. Out of many millions of such wise persons, only one may actually become liberated, mukta. And out of many millions of such liberated persons, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna is very rarely found.
Every time we get a body, we are busy giving enjoyment to our body and mind only, forgetting about our real goal. That is our soul. So what the soul wants, that is the real goal. So then what do we do?
a time, there was a parrot in cage. Then upon a time, a wise man came and bought, taking it to his home, giving it all his time, making the cage the best, so good and shine. Once upon a time, there was a parrot in cage. Then upon a time, a wise man came and bought, taking it to his home, giving it all his time, making the cage the best, so good and shine. For the parrot's pair, clean the cage with care. For the parrot's color, painted the cage with color. For the parrot's beauty, covered the cage with gold, sprayed with costly scent, wiped with silken cloth. Days and days went by, gone now even a week. While the cage looked great, the parrot became weak. Ah-ho, ah-ho, ho, 2 weeks now gone. Sad and sad and sad, the parrot died and gone. Once upon a time, there was a parrot in cage. Then upon a time, a wise man came and bought, taking it to his home, giving it all his time, making the cage the best, so good and shine. Neighbors ran and came when he cried and cried, shocked to see the parrot died with no food. Asked the wise man, ever he fed the parrot? Wise man then cried, I didn't feed the parrot. Like that parrot in cage, with the soul live. Like that foolish man, body is what we care. Wearing gold jewels, wearing colored dresses, we care only the body, forgetting our soul. Once upon a time, there was a parrot in cage. Then upon a time, a wise man came and bought, taking it to his home, giving it all his time, making the cage the best, so good and shine. Soul wants the food, that is the love of God. Without that very love, it can't live at all. Only goal in life is to make our soul connected to that Lord, happy ever, that's all. Hear the story of Lord, making the soul happy. Sing the name of the Lord, making the soul in bliss. Chant the names of the Lord, making it bathe in love. That the love in bliss is the food to soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we most of the time, this is what is going on. We take care of the body. We never take care of the soul. So the soul basically almost what? You dying. That is the situation is. But those sages and rishis, they know what to do. They did not go with this need and want and desire to the extent. So that's why intelligent sages and rishis did not make their body happy. they made their soul happy. This is Vashishta Muni's cave in Shivapuri. He lived in this cave for hundreds of years, it is said. Every rishi and great sages lived in caves. They did not build big mansions to live. Caves met their basic needs to stay and sleep. The vegetations around in the land supplied their foods. They did not have 3-door refrigerators and programmable microwave ovens. Hence they were very healthy. They did not have air conditioner or heat pumps. The natural breeze and clean air was good for them. They did pranayama, yoga, and kept themselves healthy. They did not wear coat, suit or tie. They used leaves, cotton fibers and simple things for clothes. And every one of our acharyas lived a very simple life like this. They sustained their lives with basic needs supplied by God. They did not use things manufactured from China, Taiwan or Japan. Lord Brahma, who is the chief of our Brahmanda, came as Srila Haridas Thakur. He did not live in a mansion. He lived in a cave, sharing it with a deadly poisonous snake. The snake did not bother Haridas Thakur, but others complained about the snake out of fear. But just a little insect in our home, we call pest control or even sometimes 911. And even looking at Sanatana Goswami's bhajan, the way that he was actually doing the bhajans. So previously this place where he was really doing the bhajans, that was actually forest. There was a cave also. And he got the Madan Mohan temple there in a hut, just a few leaves over it. During rain, there was more rain probably out, inside than outside. And next to his place was a cave and where a lion was living. So this lion, did not bother him. And in fact, it was listening to his chanting and became a devotee. It came and bowed down in front of him. Later he tied he used to tie a small bag, so that lion used to go to the nearby homes because he really trained for a few days. Then it used to go every day and then get some chapati in the bag, and it brings back and then give it to Sanatana Goswami, his guru, and he will offer to the deity and then give something to the lion and he will eat. This was how he was actually living there. And now take Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami also had many bhajan kutirs. Most of them were just shades under the tree. There was not even a hut. Not even huts. This is Ter Kadamba, where some of us actually went there. Right? We really visited. This was a forest with no one to help. There were so many robbers too. Srimati Radharani used to come every night so that, just to protect Rupa Goswami. This was where he wrote many scriptures. When we visited last time, that Maharaja actually showed us the original the manuscript handwritten by Srila Rupa Goswami. It was amazing to really see. Then look at Raghunath Das Goswami. He used to live under trees near Radhakunda. He used to get lost in chanting in the scorched sun. He sits somewhere and then he doesn't know the time, and eventually the sun goes up and it is so hot and he doesn't even feel it. So Radharani could not bear. So she used to come and then use her veil to really cover the head of his real, dear devotee. Okay. And then this was going on. Then once Sanatana Goswami was actually coming to really visit Raghunath Das Goswami, he saw even tigers were actually, drinking water, just very near to him. So he got really worried. Oh, something may really happen. Then by his arrangement only, he actually arranged to really build a hut. Okay. So this is how all our acharyas, all our saints, everybody lived like this only. And how many are really interested in this kind of soul care? Hardly anyone. So because everybody is interested only in taking care of the cage, our body, our outer thing, not the bird, not the soul inside. And we have actually only two essentials, only two needs, only two things that we need to do.
साधु संगे कृष्ण नाम ये मात्र छाई संसार जिनीते आर कौन बसुनाई Other than the association with devotees and chanting the names of Lord Krishna, nothing is essential in this world.
But we think that we need so many things, which are actually junks. Right? We think that we need so many things. How to measure how much greedy I am? Look at your own garage. So now, more than that, so much of junk again in our mind and all our living. We are too much attached to the family, too much attached to the friends, too much attached to the internet, too much attached to the soap opera, too much attached to restaurants, too much attached to the beauty parlors and so many things. We think that they are all necessary for our real goal. So, the possessions of devotees, if we see on the other hand, they are very minimal. Very minimal. Here you are seeing Raghunath Das Goswami. Every day, you know how much he really eats? Just one palm full of buttermilk. That also given like a small leaf. Actually, this leaf is bigger. They will take a small leaf and then fold it like a cone, and his disciple will actually give the buttermilk. It will actually just one palmful. That's all. This much only. That's it. He drinks. That's all for the whole day. How many of us can really survive like this? But this is how Acharyas were actually living. They hardly sleep. Just 2 or 3 hours they sleep. Then they were actually busy in just doing the seva. Translating or composing so many scriptures they were actually doing. So, that is why again saying, we have only 2 needs. Again Shastras, various places, is telling the same thing. Prabhu kahe Vaishnava seva, Nama Sankirtana, Duikara Sigara Pave, Sri Krishna Charana. Prabhu kahe Vaishnava seva, Nama Sankirtana, Duikara Sigra Babe, Sri Krishna Charana. The Lord, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, you should serve the servants of Krishna. That is Vaishnavas. And always chant the holy names of Sri Krishna. If you do these 2 things, you will very soon attain the shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. So our only goal is to go back to Krishna. He is our only and eternal relation. Okay, this is a small story. There was an old man traveling in a local bus in India. The bus conductor found a wallet on the floor of the bus. It was moving. So he asked everyone, as who was the owner of the wallet? A old man extended his arm and said, oh, it is mine. Then the conductor asked, what is the proof that it is yours? Oh, there is a Krishna picture playing flute inside. Then he said, oh, that so many people will actually have Krishna as the thing. You have to be more specific. Then he started to narrate, because the thing is, as soon as he really they remembered about that photo and that's about Krishna, he started to narrate the story of all the story to all the fellow passengers. This wallet was given to me by my father as a present on my birthday. My father died in cholera at very young stage. In fact, as our whole village died that time. So we were the only few ones who could survive. But this is that same wallet my father gave. Then after my father passed away, my mother was doing everything for me. I did not have a photo of my father who gave me this wallet. Later I could get a photo with my mother, and I was keeping the picture of my mother for a long time. My mother then passed away. After some time I went to a town to work. One of my colleagues, picture of me. I then kept my picture as on the top in the wallet. Things changed. Yes, I got married to a beautiful woman. She loved me so much. So instead of my picture on the top, I put her picture, my wife's picture, at the top. I was seeing, as soon as I opened the wallet, I could see her picture. Then soon we got a child. All our attention went on to the child. our girl was very beautiful and chubby. I placed the photo of our child in my wallet on the top now. Everything else was all under. Wherever I went, I used to show it to everyone. Every other picture was at the back. Then she grew up and got married to a boy. That boy was actually from a faraway town. So my girl went to live with him there. They hardly come to our home, and then they stopped coming altogether. So then soon my wife also passed away. I was feeling really separated. Practically, I did not have any real relation in this world. One day, I was bitterly crying to myself. There was no relation to me really. And I saw the Krishna picture from my calendar at home. It was smiling at me. He was smiling. It was very unusual. I saw him leaning his hand towards me from his flute and reaching out for me. His smile was so attracting. It was like he said, "Who is your real relative? Come to me. I am your only relative." Oh, then I thought that was a dream. But I only now know that it is not a dream. It is something that happened. Then what I did, I realized Krishna is my only relation. I grabbed the picture of Krishna and cut it around, trimmed it to fit in my wallet. Then I threw away all other pictures that I had. I kept only the picture of Krishna. The wallet is about to give up, but I will never give up Krishna. So this is the same wallet my father gave, and now I have that Krishna there, and he lives in my heart. He is my only relation. He is everything for me. Please give me my wallet back. So the eyes of those who heard this story around when the bus was going, they didn't realize that it was so interesting they forgot the time. The old man was also in tears. The bus conductor gave the wallet back to him and he said, "Yes, namaste. You are great, good man." So now if we see that, we had millions of fathers. We had millions of mothers. We had millions of husbands. We had millions of wives and millions of children. We have forgotten all our previous lives, Buddha. Krishna is our only relation. But we cannot see this relation, using our eyes. We cannot see the permanent connection that we have with him. Eternally that is there. But we forgot. But how can I revive that? I can revive that by chanting the holy names. By chanting the holy names. So, but if you see that, all the scriptures say, if you are chanting Lord's name, continuously, at the time of the death, also you will be able to remember him. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna iti andakale jalpan jandur jeevitam yojahati. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna iti andakale jalpan jandur jeevitam yojahati. Adya sapta kalpate tasya mukti Vridanam rodustasto vanya vrunustasto. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna iti. When like this, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna iti. Like that I am saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna iti. Like that. Andakale. What is andakale? Andakale means anda. That is ending. The kale, which is the time that ends for me. That means at the time of death. So what is that? When I really do that, what happens? Then jalpan jandur jeevitam yojahati. Okay, for a person who gives up his life while uttering Krishna, 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 it is ensured that the very first instance of the name Krishna awards him liberation. While the remaining two names are Oh, what will happen to the other two ones? Because you said 3 times, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. The first time when you say Krishna, but Andakale, okay? Like what happened? You got the liberation, done. That is taken care. But then you are telling 2 more times. But those 2 names, they will feel indebted now. See, they can't do anything really because already liberation is given. So those 2 remaining names become ever indebted to the chanter. Look at the power. But how will we really get that name at the time that we are leaving the body? This is the question. It's not possible. But when we chant all the time, when we serve a guru, he is really going to make you to really chant and chant and chant. He will beat you. Then it will come. If it comes, the Krishna gets indebted to you. And in fact, for this one, Sanatana Goswami, he is giving even more. Because the Nama and Nami are the same. There is no difference. Krishna and the person Krishna, right? God Krishna, there is no difference between his name and Nami. There is nothing. He says, because the Nama is the Nami, Krishna himself is indebted to you. What was the thing? Just chanted 3 times Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But I am not able to chant. How to get out of this? Because why I am not able to chant? Because I am controlled by Maya. The need, starting from a need, we go to the want and then go to the desire, and my desire is like mountains and mountains and mountains. I get so much attached to my family, so much attached to this world, everything is completely entangled. You are caught by Maya. How can you chant? It's not possible. That's what the problem is. So how to get out of the Maya? People think that they will be able to get out of the Maya. But it is Krishna's one of the energies. How can we get out of the Maya? It's impossible. He says that. But the only thing is he says, catch me. But how can I catch him? I have not seen him. So, our Gurudev says this is the root of that to really make that Maya to go away. Then you can chant and then you automatically, get your original goal. Tate Krishna bhaje kare Guru ra sevana Maya jala chute paya Sri Krishna charana. By serving Sri Guru and then worshipping Krishna, one becomes free from the web of Maya and attains the feet of Krishna. This is the secret. This is the secret. Otherwise you cannot chant. You try and try and try. Without surrendering to a Guru, you can simply impossible to chant. This is what the Shastra says again and again and again. But when we start serving to a Guru, then what happens? So many things will open up. This Maya will go away. And your interest will be not in these, your need and want and desires and families and these and relations, soap opera, these and that. Not everything will be all broken. And in your heart will become pure. And in the heart, then a temple will manifest. Krishna will be coming. Because you are chanting as it is supposed to be. See, you are following under a Guru. So he has to come in your heart. So we should not fill our heart with relatives. I told you, we have seen millions of mothers, millions of fathers, millions of husbands, millions of wives. Probably not in one life. Millions of, so we have seen millions of these throughout. But then what is the point in just getting so attracted and then so bonded with them? No, you do your duty. That's it. You have to understand. You are a soul. You belong to Krishna. You do not belong to anyone else. So then when you surrender to a Guru, then because the Maya gets broken, then you can chant. When you chant, automatically Krishna will be now coming and he will enter into a heart. And that is what the Krishna temple is. So in your heart, as the temple, Krishna will live there. So please So you'll be all doing all the pujas and everything right in your heart. You don't have to have anything else. Please abide in the temple of my heart, both day and night. O Krishna Murari, O Sri Krishna Murari. Devotion, love, flower garlands and sandalwood, all please accept them, O delighter of the heart. In life or in death, I worship you with these all offerings. O beautiful one, O enchanter of the heart, come, son of Nanda. And then, O son of Nanda, I will offer your Arati ceremony with the lamplight of my love. The waters of the Yamuna river cascades incessantly from my eyes in your separation. See, until your guru chastises you and then take the Maya out, you will not see any tear when you are chanting. You will chant. Probably you can force yourself to chant. But only when you by heart, you really surrender to a guru, and then everything will totally happen differently. You will be automatically enthusiastic. You will be, so much of energy will come. You won't believe where it is coming from. It will come. You will be inspired. Guru Dev will give inspiration. This is how things are happening all the time. And then everything will be so easy then. So the waters of Yamuna river is supposed to follow from my eyes. But if it doesn't fall, if the tears doesn't, don't come, I don't have a good chanting at all. I don't have a real guru even. Oh, holder of Govardhana, I want you in my heart. May I pass my life absorbed only in songs of your praise. O Krishna Murari, O Sri Krishna Murari. So now the summary is, we have only two things as our need. Okay, right. So today's topic was need, want and desire. In fact, then the Shastra, actually all the Shastras conclude, you need only two things. Everything else is taken here, all, for our breathing, for our roti, kapada, mamma, all arranged already. That's not a problem at all. Every even insect gets food. It's all arranged. It is only because of our artificial needs that we manufacture. That is what is actually killing us. So then what are the two things that we at all need in this world is, one, Vaishnava Seva and Harinama. It's not the other way. It's not Harinama and then Vaishnava Seva. No, because Harinama won't come. Only when we do Vaishnava Seva, which is also Guru Seva, then the Harinama will automatically come. You will be able to really get the ruchi of the Harinama. That will come only after Vaishnava Seva. Okay? Without other than these two, there is nothing in this world. Right? When you have these two in place, the Lord will come and then sit in our heart. That's what the meaning of the song. I just read that out too. Okay? So, thank you and Hare Krishna. Vanja kalpa taruchecha kripa sindhu pevacha padita anam bhavanepyo vaishnavepyo namo namaha.